This is Old Kids on the Block. New episodes weekly. Come hang out. Welcome back to the Old Kids on the Block. This is the October Spooky Special. No, but real. Shut up. No, really, we are actually doing a couple of Halloween-related episodes this month for October. We hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and check out our other videos. Today, we're actually going to be going over the most haunted places in the world, and we picked some of our favorites.
Scary.
Yes, and we're going to get right to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Miles, since he has the iPad.
I have the iPad. Okay, so the spot I picked... Oh, that's not it. No, that's it. So the place I picked was Salem, Massachusetts. I think that's what that right? Yeah, I did. Ooh. Salem is, of course, the site of the infamous witch trials where 20 people, mostly women, obviously, were hung for consorting with the devil and casting spells upon the town's children. I wonder how they...
Isn't it crazy now that women nowadays want to be choked all the time? But back in the day, it's like you got killed in Salem for being accused of being a witch for like lighting a fire.
Joke's on you that we're pretending to be witches to be choked because no one wanted to do it.
No, what if they just like, oh, I like being choked because of like intercourse, and then they're like, witch!
No, she's like, I'm a witch step, bro.
I'm a witch step, bro.
You're gonna have to choke me out. Did you know some of the trials they did are crazy?
Mm-hmm. They said Bridget Bishop, the first woman to be hung, is thought to haunt the, how do you say the Elysium bar?
Elysium bar.
Some bar in Grail, which is built on the site of the apple orchard tree that she had owned. Another notorious figure in the trials was Giles Corey.
Giles.
Shut up. A wealthy farmer, as the property of the guilty would be divided up amongst the rest of the townspeople. Can you imagine? They probably did that just because they wanted the farm.
Yeah, so...
Or the wealth.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait, we want his wealth because they split between the townspeople. Witch, kill him. Cool, now it's ours.
They didn't have a legal system back then. You can't really sue people or try to get their property. They're like, we'll just say she's a witch.
You didn't really need a good reason to say she was a witch either. It's like, oh, she knows how to read. Witch!
Yeah, I mean, if they can read, they probably are witches. I'm watching you, ladies.
All of you.
I'm watching you. Continuing, it is now believed that Corey was a target because of his wealth. Wow, we should have only just kept reading. Witnesses have reported seeing his angry ghost around the city's oldest graveyards. That's fucking disgusting. and the Howard Street Cemetery, the house of the Seven Gables.
There's 7 of you? I was kind of lost for a second. What are we doing?
The house of the Seven Gables has also been the site of paranormal activity with a general oppressed atmosphere as well as a rocking chair that appears to move itself.
So have you guys ever, like that what they describe there is a general oppressed feel, like when you step into an area, typically when they describe like paranormal stuff, you get a chill down your back, like you can feel an ominous aurora around you. Have you guys ever felt that before?
I think it's very subjective.
Yeah.
You're right. I think if nobody ever told you were in a haunted mansion, I don't know if you would see half the things.
So you think they set it up? It's like, hey, listen, if you...
I think the mind is a powerful thing. You know, I think if somebody tells you, hey, look, that place is haunted, and you walk in there, you're more liable to see some shit.
It's almost like saying that, oh, you might be sick, and it's like
what I did it to you guys, remember?
Would you say that perception and knowing something induces it more? Just like our supernatural episode where I referenced that.
If you didn't see that, go back and check. And Mike forgot to mention, but also check out our other platforms as Apple Podcasts.
Oh, he forgot.
Yeah, good. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and to watch our last episode, check it out right here.
So I definitely want to visit Salem, by the way. Yeah, he's putting it up here. It's going to be right here. Okay.
He pointed here.
Yeah, it's going to be right here.
Okay. Right there.
All right.
Okay, well, my place I found was actually one of the most popular places in the U.S. For paranormal activity. It's called Moundsville Penitentiary. It was in operation for over 100 years. It's located in West Virginia, and it's known to be one of America's most violent correctional facilities. Wow. They had over 1,000 criminals that died there. Like, that was their last stop for their criminal activities.
They were killed, or they were like died of like...
So people went there. They died from time. Murder, homicide, executions, and it's
I thought you meant like infection.
Yes, so that area, people say, has like thousands of souls, and it's like a very like dangerous and oppressive like feeling over there.
I would have Ouija board there.
No way.
No.
I would.
You're
You
out
would?
of your damn mind.
I would.
You're asking for it at that
Yeah, you
point.
are.
At this point, you're gonna get
Yeah.
game banged by
I
a bunch
just
of
want-
ghosts.
You're
Friend.
asking to get gangbanged by a bunch of ghosts.
And it's prison, so yeah, I'll be like, oh yeah, fresh mouth.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
No, but when you edit, show them the penitentiary. It's really scary. Right now, it is a tourism spot, so it closed down in 1995. There was almost 85 men hanged there, and one hanging had an error, and something happened where the guy just kept twisting, and he got decapitated.
Wow.
And so because of that, they didn't outlaw it, but they stopped doing the hangings for people there, and instead they did.
In 1995.
I don't think it was in 1995 the hanging,
Oh,
but I know that happened during one of the hangings. So that place is like tortured with spirits. People can say like in different areas and quarters of the penitentiary, you can like feel like the presence of people there. There's one particular area that I was looking at. 1 second.
Where is it?
It's called the Sugar Shack. It's like a spot inside.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, sugar
No, it's actually where people used to meet up to fight over there.
Huh.
Yeah. So there was
That's
a
like
lot,
an odd name for
there
it.
was a couple people in that area where there was fights, rapes, and murders in that room.
Gabe, meet me at the Sugar Shack.
So there's a ghost. Apparently there's a ghost there. His name is RD, the ghost of RD, and you can see him lurking around in dark corners when you walk around there.
Huh.
So yeah, this place is all kinds of messed up. They actually did a new type of torture there too for the prisoners, and I'll move on. They actually did a thing called kicking Jenny.
I'll say hold on to that, and let's wait until after the show so you can go into deep depth because I definitely want to hear that.
Okay, you're gonna cut me off for the second time. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second
Second.
episode is happening. That's crazy stuff.
No, it's okay, guys. Just go to the after show podcast and we'll talk about it.
All right, so
So moving on.
All right, so the place I chose was the La Lurie Mansion in New Orleans. owned
Not to
by
be mistaken for La Llorona. Completely
La
different.
Llorona. He doesn't know how to speak Spanish.
Sorry.
Disgrace. Yeah, so La Lurie Mansion was owned by Madame La Lurie, and this was actually the mansion that American Horror Story Coven, they based that story
Ooh.
off of this mansion.
Really?
Madame La Lurie was a New Orleans socialite who used to have extravagant parties. This was back in the days when having slaves was okay. And she would have a bunch of slaves. And the thing is, everybody would be having these extravagant parties, but she would actually, 2 stories above her house, in an attic, she would have like this torture chamber. So, not sure what the date was, but there was a fire in the house. Police responded, and they found, I think it was like over 100 tortured and mutilated bodies of slaves.
Jeez.
Wow.
And she would just keep up there. She would torture the hell out of them. And
Then act all normal.
as when the police found out and the town found out, she fled to France, and now it's a tourism spot, La Lurie Mansion in New Orleans, and you can go there. It's a bed and breakfast. But
This was the woman in like the beginning of the season, right? Where she
Yes.
was like, she put like a bullhead
Yep.
on that one slave.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yep.
know which one you're talking about
that
now.
is
Wow.
her. I mean, I don't know if she did
She-
that,
wasn't
but
she-
Probably not that specifically, but
Wasn't she in like because it was tour? Was she a tourist or was she actually running the museum?
no, it wasn't a museum. It was her house. It was a mansion.
No, it was her house, but she came back from the dead, right?
no.
In the show.
In the show, in the show,
yeah, in the show.
She came
yeah,
back
yeah,
from the
yeah.
dead, right? And
Yeah.
she killed the lady giving the tour, and then she's like, "This is my house." And
Exactly.
Then, "It's my house.
But in real life, she was a socialite who used to just buy slaves because she had money. I don't know what she did, but she used to just torture the hell out of them
Huh?
in
That
an
is
attic or something.
that is pretty sick.
This.
and to finish up with the best one,
Which is
the Catacombs under Paris. My personal favorite. I'm not using his MacBook because I can't read,
So
But-
actually,
but they actually made a movie about it and everything. The reason why it's one of my favorites is because it's one of the most famous places you could still
as
go
above,
to.
so below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that also
yes,
in
it
it?
is.
That's
That's,
Yeah, that's actually
Yep.
about
Oh,
the
yeah.
catacombs.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was called something else. But
good
yes,
movie, good
that
movie.
that place you can go to. There's over 6 million dead Parisians minimum, and the reason why I'm saying minimum is because people have still died in those catacombs because they go down there, they get split from the tour group. That place is an entire maze. Like someone actually tried to create a map to it.
Is there no places that are not explored, right? That you can't go?
Yeah, there's some
Some
places that
underwater
still haven't been
and
explored.
underwater.
There's even been sightings of a movie theater club too that goes down there. They've been caught in like a random side room. You could look it up. They were caught once, and they went back down, went into the same room. There was nothing but a note saying you will never find us. And it was just like dudes just sitting there that made like a little home theater and everything. There's also
It's
like,
so odd.
there's
to
also
find.
sections that are going underwater. So there's actually parts of the catacombs you can go in there and swim down to go further into the catacombs. And there's even rumored to even be a werewolf down there too. So it's not even just haunted.
What?
There might even be a werewolf down there
That
too.
makes no
is-
sense
Wow.
though.
Yes.
Would you guys go? Would you keep going further and further into
Yes.
it if you could?
And the
No.
reason I would get a industrial sized bag of Skittles,
What?
just so I can do a Hansel and Gretel thing
I
and
can't
just
with
like,
you, bro.
from out and in, because werewolves aren't going to eat Skittles. Ghosts don't like Skittles.
Who's
You
carrying
know.
the Skittles?
Me.
You are. He's gonna eat you.
Okay, okay, guys, gentlemen, we're gonna have to actually switch it over to the audio only portion of the podcast. We just hit the time marker here. So, guys, if you enjoyed this content, we're gonna be talking more about it at the After the Show Out podcast. Will be linked in the description below.
Let me just say one thing. If I was a werewolf, I would eat some fucking Skittles.
We'll see you after.
See ya.
Get some Skittles.